Alright everyone, hello and welcome back. It's good to see all of you again, or be seen by all of you again. That's how this works. Um, First, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to my 3 patrons on Patreon, Allaya P. Cooks, Sharon Kirkland, and Lauren James. It means the world to me that, people are putting their money behind their support. And so don't forget, if you want to support, you can always subscribe and especially support on Patreon. You can find the link in my profile. And going forward, I'll be putting little by little a bit more elbow grease into these videos. So I'll put a Patreon link or little button or something in the video later on when I can. So today I want to talk about, well, actually first I want to say that these videos are becoming free again thanks to a new friend that I made, who is going to be part of today's video topic and discussion. And we might as well start there. So I recently made a new friend. She is a mother of 3 children, and the whole family I've become friends with the whole family, and they're lovely, wonderful people. And one day we were just sitting and shooting the breeze, chit chatting, and one of her children is disabled, physically and mentally. And I found out that that child would only live until about 40 years old. And so my friend, the mother, is a very open and vibrant and bright person, and so she shared with me that one of her kind of secret feelings is that she and her son die at the same time, around the same time. And I know this is a little bit morbid, but this is really, really important. I mean, I even I was moved and actually told her about this as well. But this is an important aspect of philosophy. I don't plan on having children, so I wouldn't end up having that experience for myself. But it's really important to interact with real people because I mean, so let's bring it back to philosophy for a second. So um, uh, actually, let's finish up the thought with the mom first. So she, part of what we're seeing there, it's an expression of her deep love for him, for her child, and because it's hard for her to imagine him going on and being healthy and happy without her. And part of what's going on there is a failing of society. It's a failing of the structures of society. It's a failure of the state. And in philosophy, so this is actually very specifically particular to Western philosophy, the traditions of Western philosophy. So let's think back to Plato and Plato's Socrates. So we're talking about the Republic. Statecraft, the art of building a healthy and functional society that has, that uses power in the right ways, is central to philosophy. It's one of the central questions of philosophy. In fact, it's one of the most core and important and valuable applications of the art of philosophy. This is not just my opinion. If we were to meet Plato and or Socrates, they would say this. This is what they believe. This is why the Republic focuses on statecraft. So it is a book about statecraft. And so the connection between these two is we should live in a world where, regardless of the state a person's born in, the parents can know that they can die happily without having to worry about their child being healthy, happy, and living with dignity. That's not a lot to ask. But we still live in a world where people with small hearts and minds allow themselves to be swayed by stigma and prejudice, or even just unconscious bias. If one doesn't think about things actively, it's very easy to be swept up in the opinions of others. Anyway, yeah, I like it's because of the importance of conversations like these that I decided to make these videos just open on YouTube again, and just, you know, hope for the best as far as like people feeling like they want to support. And so getting to our anime for the day, Aldnoah Zero is definitely related. Aldnoah Zero is a mecha anime in which the main character is actually a super science and math focused human being. Like they're not magic, not really. But like the thing that makes them really special is their personality, is the seriousness with which they took their education in school, which is a really cool undertone. Some of the central questions are very much related to this idea of statecraft. It's more of a, I mean, as with most mechas, it's about war. So it's more about like the founding of nations. The questions there, but I I think they're related enough to bring up here. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I absolutely adore the main characters. All of the supporting cast is also wonderful in Aldnoah Zero. There is there's this interesting relationship about like that with colonization. Sorry, with empires and colonization that doesn't come up in anime very often. So it's wonderful to see. One thing that I did notice is missing in thinking about this video is a mother's love. Like I'm hard pressed to think of any mothers that come up in the show. Fathers, yes. Mothers, not so much. Now it does suffer from whiteness, as with pretty much all anime in general. Trying to think of a single black character. And this happens, the story happens on Earth, or it happens with human beings. So, you know, trying to, like, it's really interesting how culture is maintained. Like, this anime is super cool, and it leverages a lot of whiteness in its coolness. I want to say but I'm going to stick with and. And so it uses Norse mythology to reinforce and add some coolness, and then it takes place, like as with a lot of anime, largely in Japan, which is just really interesting because all of the characters just look white. Like a white person can easily insert themselves into that character, and apparently it's that easy for Asians as well. And as a black person, you know, I've learned the skill of being able to insert myself into characters and like get value easily and naturally. But I mean, isn't it also just wild and counterintuitive that there are just no black people or like no brown people? Like, I mean, it's not just about like having black people in there, like just like and throwing some in. Like, it's just about like, think about the mind that made the anime. I mean, like, that mind is clearly just all like whitewashed, right? Like, what other ethnicities are present? Is that a natural and healthy world? Like, even if the good guys win, even if the good guys win, where are all the other brown people in the world? Like, they just didn't make it? I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up about there. Thank you so much for watching today's video, or this week's video, I should say. Preparations for going to India are underway. We are pretty much just about a month away from going to India. I'm very excited. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I forgot, like, Bucky also says hi, and thank you all so much for watching again. Please subscribe and or help me out on Patreon if you feel like it.